Hello, you guys. I'm just going to do a mechanics presentation. I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Of course, you have your walk and your run, your jump as well. I also added a pickup system where you can pick up items. That was a pickup for my telekinetic push, which we added to the display port there, or the viewport, excuse me. With this, using F key or R key, you can either grab and hold items, physics body items, or push them out the way. So you can move them around, or you can push them using the F key. So do a little sphere trace and physics items you can grab. I also added a lock key mechanic. So this is like the main hash that leads you to the exit of the level. If you press D to interact, it says authorization failed. You need high level clearance in order to leave. So I also have another key card here for pickup, and that gives you access to the the control room and the engine room. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick this up on here because so yeah, now you can access this room. You weren't able to before without that key card. I also added a level mechanic, which you find two items of a blue and a red color, and you place them here, and then you're able to access a secret area. I'll show you down here in the engine room. So yeah, you can just get that out the way, and then you're able to grab that item and take it with you. But I'm gonna just go ahead and end this, and I'm gonna show you how the mechanics work. So alright, as we are here in the Unreal Engine, I'm going to go ahead and show you this and the other door basically work the same. So basically I have it that a text render that shows that authorization has failed. That's not visible at the beginning, but we have a blueprint interface that uses interact as well as a pickup for the intel, and basically you just cast to you figure out who the overlapping actor is for the sphere collision that this has for the door. Then we're going to cast to our third person character to see if it has that high level key. If not, it's going to show that it's going to play that error sound. It's going to show that text message, or not text message, that text render that we have in there, and it's going to show that authorization has failed. And then after 3 seconds, and it's going to set that back to not visible, so it's just not there the whole time. But if you do have the high level card, it's going to play the possessed player sound, and then it's going to go through a timeline, which is going to basically change the z-axis of the door, and it's going to slide it from the 0 position down to the negative 242, which it will drop it into the floor. And then and that's just making the location of the door. So we'll go on to and these are just other things. So that's just a blueprint for the card, the pickup, the telekinesis orb is a pickup. Basically everything else is in the third person character. So that's where the telekinesis is, and the pickups. So the way I set it up, I have it for each item. So basically there's a collision for each item. It's going to make sure it is that item. It's going to implement the proper interface, and then it's going to use pickup, and then for the intel it's going to add some numbers to that. We also have one for the key card. We have one for the locked slide door, which is for the engine room and the control room. and the BP sliding door is just the regular sliding doors that you see in the living quarters. And the high level, basically most of the pickups in here. So once you get that power up pickup, you can use telekinesis and telekinetic push. It's basically telekinetic hold and telekinetic push. But basically what happens is you're going to check to see if you have the power up. We're going to get the location of a sphere that our player character has, where the follow camera. So we have it right at its head level. And then we're going to get this location and forward vector. We're going to times that by 200, just so that line trace goes 200 meters from that area. It's going to make sure it's visible. It's going to ignore itself, of course. Once that line hits the item, we're going to make sure it's a hit component. And if that is true, we're going to use our physics handle, which is a physics handle component. And you're going to get the world location of the component. And it's going to grab that item. And it's going to set it to, I think it's going to set it to our arrow. So, because I think our physics handle, I forgot where it says that it sets it to, but it'll set it to our arrow from our follow camera. So we have an arrow out here, and it's going to take the item to that area. And then it's going to set is holding to true, and then this will basically loop that hold. So if is holding is true, it's going to play the sound, and then it's going to use the physics handle. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's under the hold section. So it's going to use that arrow that we have out in front of our character, and it's going to hold it at that location in a loop. And basically, the telekinetic push is the same, almost the same. It's going to make sure we have that power up, of course. It's going to use our follow camera location and forward vector for wherever the camera moves. It's going to do a sphere trace or a line trace, depending. I wanted to add like a wave of enemies to come, but I think that was a little bit too big for the scope. But I added it anyway, especially trying to create them and things of that nature. But basically what it does, it's going to cast to BP object, which I had it set to. It's going to forward vector times 700, and then it's going to add 500 in the z-axis direction. So it'll launch the character upward. It'll launch them out and upward even more. Same thing for the line trace by channel. It'll just do a component hit. So the other one was an actor, the other one was a component, so you can actually push physic body items. And it does the same thing. It's going to get a forward vector times 1,000, and then it's going to shoot it up 700, because most of the things are weighted to 1,000, just so you can't move them with your body. And that's basically it, I believe. I don't think I added anything else. Yeah, just pickup system. Oh yeah, one more thing. In the level blueprint, our little puzzle that we have in our control room, which is really easy to set up. I just have 2 trigger boxes set up for our S key, our secret key cone, and our secret key cube. And we're going to make sure those are both set to true. And then we're going to set our keys in place. So once those are both in place, we're going to set keys in place to true. And once keys in place is true, it's going to play from start. It's going to move the door along the x-axis, and then it's going to slide that door over, just like we did for our other doors. And then it's going to set open secret room to true. And then once you take the item off of it, it'll reverse it and close the door. But that's basically it. That was the last mechanic. Um, I think this one is really easy. It's basically what happens is once you hit the sphere, it's going to, let's see if it let me choose it. Did I have that one? Basically, I mean, it's really simple. What it is once you collide with this box collision um, with an item, it's just going to spawn a intel so you can um, unlock it. But that's basically it. Um, I try to keep it under 7 minutes, but it's hard to do. So that's basically it. All right.